My name's Holly Flink. I'm making a video about this final because I have a few things that I want to explain because I put a lot of detail in this, and from the photo you won't be able to see all of it. So I'm really going to go over the detail of it, but also I wanted to explain because it is late, as you can see in the corner, because I spent like 4 days on the phone back and forth between my pharmacy and my doctor and being like, hey, I've been trying to get this prescription, and every time I went to the pharmacy they didn't have it, and every time I called the doctors they said they sent it, so it was like a whole back and forth thing, and it took so much time away from me modeling this because I wanted to do so much stuff. So I have, as you can see, a ton of stuff here, so I want to go over it. So these squares are my lights, but first I'll start with the walls, I guess. There's nothing really special about the walls, so there you go. Start with this wall though. So these lights I actually made in a different model and then imported them into here. I can zoom in on them. There we go. So yeah, so I figured out how to make like wires and cables. I have tons of wires and cables everywhere in the scene, and then I have this the little end of a light, and then the light itself. And I'll bring up the photo really fast. Sorry. This is the rendered photo that will go with the video because this is what we have to turn in, and of course, so this is all of it rendered. So the lights are red and green because they're red and green lights over here. So they're just against the wall, just because there isn't enough surface to bounce the green off of. You can kind of see it right here. A lot of it is really glossy for like no reason. The way I learned how to do textures was to put an AI standard this AI standard surface. So that's kind of what most of them are, because I went and got the textures, which I'll show you my Photoshop nonsense of how I made them. So this is what the photo looks like exactly, with everything. So there's that. So that's the lights. This is a little backpack. If I turn it, honestly, actually, if we move it, it's got the little, it's got the strings on it. If you look from this direction, it's got this little loopy, so that it's like hanging on this door frame. I was gonna make a jacket, but I'm not really good at working with vertexes and stuff, so I decided not to. This is my little mini fridge. This is the photo that I'm going off of, and I wanted to make it look like, so there's this like big apartment room. There's probably more stuff here, but like because it's just like a corner of the room, I wanted to show that she's basically living entirely in this tiny room, and then she has the door over here. She has the door over here, which is like to her bathroom, and then this door over here, which is to the exit, and so this is her little kitchen area, basically, and I took a lot of inspiration from this photo. So over here is her kitchen area. So this is her mini fridge, and it's like a very large mini fridge, and the little door's kind of squished, but it has a to-do list, and it says laundry, homework, and it has like Christmas cards because I wanted to go with the Christmas thing since it's December. And then there's the handle for it. There's a trash can here. It's nothing special. It's just the black cylinder with the thing, and I just threw random blocks in it. I didn't bother coloring them because it was like, whatever. There's a little French press right here. If we zoom in, the spout is a little derpy, but there's a little spout. So she has a French press, and she has a kettle, which is up here. There's a microwave, frying pan, and a hot plate. There's a bowl and a plate, 2 cups. In the cups, there's a fork, knife, and spoon, and then in this other one, here I can zoom in. They look really badly derpied. So here's the knife. She's got like a knife, a spoon, and a fork, and then here's like a mixing spoon and a spatula. So there's all that. I will admit, I wanted a figurine, and I wasn't sure how to do it at all, and it was going to take way too much time that I just didn't have. So my one asset that I did bring in is this Charmander figurine that I found online. It's the only thing that I didn't make. Everything else I made, I promise. I didn't make this because there's no way I would have, and I wanted an actual figurine that looked really cool because she's like kind of a nerd. I made this plant, which kind of looks a little lame, and the clock. On this little setup here, these are stacks of clothes. She has a TV that always is like on the news, and then she's got a series of books, and then down here is her dirty clothes basket. So okay, so then we have this little like window like thing that goes to the bathroom, and this is the door, and they each emit like a kind of orange light in the doorway, because I wanted to be like, oh, she's in there, she's in the bathroom, so light is emitting from the door. And then over here we got a little snowman because it's Christmas, and I made the snowman completely. I didn't bring him in, I made him. I made this phone and the cable and the charger and the outlet. I made all of that, and the phone has a little Merry Christmas background. And then I made this poster. I took a picture from online, of course, and made it into a texture. And so there's a poster here. She's a little anime nerd. And if we go over here, I made all of these books by hand in a different Maya thing, and it took a very long time. And I absolutely put, like, every single one of these has a different book number. And it could be a lot more complicated, but I didn't want to actually get the pictures for the manga. And then she has like slippers because she went to the bathroom, so she took off her slippers and left them here at the door. And they're really like kawaii slippers. So there's that. I had too much fun making this. It was a good assignment, and I wanted to make something really cool. This is the light, which in the photo, bring it back up, you can see the light like is in it as well as protruding everywhere. So this is her like main light, and I just gave it a cloth texture that was Maya, like pre-Maya, already had it. Then she has another TV, which she has lo-fi going on. And I just took a screenshot from YouTube and put it on a texture onto an object. So, and then I made this GameCube myself, completely handmade this GameCube. Kind of GameCube, it's like not really a GameCube, but it's kind of a GameCube. I based it off a GameCube, and then I made the controller myself, and I wanted to make it a completely different controller to make it not look like, oh yeah, it's a GameCube thing. And then I made the wire myself completely. So all that was completely made. Then she has a little drawing pad, because she has a drawing pad in the picture. She has a monitor and a drawing pad, and she has a news thing. So I just took a Photoshop photo that I made for an old art class with Portillo, and made it all. It was an anime thing that I had to do, and so I just took a screenshot of that and put it into a texture. I made this mug completely, it is a little stretched. The Merry Christmas is a little stretched, and I'm still really bad on using the rings, so the handle is a little derpy. Cool thing about this, it's just a straight thing and it has a cloth thing on it. If you go into, I think it was animation or FX, and I put a cloth on it. If we hit play, it just goes down and it becomes my little kotatsu. So it's got a Christmas themed buffalo plaid texture to it, same as the pillow, which like she sits on or she can sleep under, because that's what kotatsus are made for. But I also made it a thing that, like, so during the wintertime, the kotatsus are bed she sleeps under, because kotatsus are a little if you don't know what it is, it's a Japanese like heating table they sit under during the wintertime. So it's a little heater, it's got a little heater underneath, and you kind of just like snuggle up underneath it and it keeps you warm. So that's what she sleeps on, like during the wintertime, but then at night she just has a roll, but it's like in the bathroom, like hidden away or something. She has a little, the pen is nothing special, the drawing tablet pen. And that is about it. Everything else, yeah, I showed you everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and file open scene. Oh, hold on, before I do that, let me file save scene. Go file open scene. So as you can see, there's a lot. This is the freaking manga books that I made. Or not. Oh, sorry, I called it something else, that's why. This is the manga books. Sorry, my computer's being a little slow because I've been working Maya all day. So yeah, everything was a single book that I then duplicated over and then duplicated all of them. And Photoshop was crazy. I'll bring over the Photoshop file. So as you can see, all the bleach textures were basically just let me find the bleach. There we go. Yeah, so it was just I put together, I made it myself. I based it off of the real book because this is a real manga. I based it off of as much as I could, but I didn't want to make it exact because they have a photo of like a character on the binds of every single one of them, and there was no way I was going to get those photos to fit and stuff. So, and the fonts are not the same, but that's basically what I had to do for that. Open again. I kinda am really proud of the clothes baskets. Nope, because it didn't change anything. Yeah, so this is my clothes basket. It's just a square that I hollowed out, and I just stuck a bunch of squares that have been rounded. They've had the smooth on them, which makes them turn into these like pills. And it just looked like folded clothes to me, but I put it in there like they were dirty clothes, and she has them hidden under her thing. This is it has a lot of them. I stacked this thing fully because I was gonna put holes in it because most baskets have the holes in them. Let's see. This is the GameCube. Don't say because I didn't change anything. Yeah, this is what the GameCube looked like until I moved it into the scene with Maya because the cable wasn't right. So when I moved it in, I uncombined everything and then combined these and these back. They're not combined to each other, but they're combined to the things that are on them, and I deleted the wires and made my own wires in the final space so that I can make it specific to like the table they were on and whatnot. So that's the GameCube. My kettle isn't anything special, so I won't do that. Those were awful, so I won't do that. Care about. Oh, and then the Xmas lights, which I am really proud of. Yeah, so here's they are. Unfortunately, the tutorial that I followed had the wire twisting, but I couldn't figure out how to get it to twist because like it wasn't doing it for me. And then when I was doing, as you saw with the GameCube controller, I figured it out. But I was like, it's way too late to go back in and fix it because I would have to literally undo everything. Because like it's a whole process. So I just left it. But it still looked really good. Yeah, so that is everything. Everything in there has a texture on it. Yeah, so this is how the fridge door looks, not squished, but it was a complicated thing that happened. So these are like magnets, and then these are Christmas cards that she was sent, and then she has a to-do list on there. Oh, it's open. This is the phone. It's literally just a screenshot of my phone. And these are the slippers. Yeah. The slippers just have little faces on them, so. That's everything. So sorry if that it's really, really late. It's only an hour late. I was right. I did message you, in Teams, and I told you that I was like, I had a terrible fucking, sorry, I'm cussing. I had a terrible last couple days because of this thing with my doctor and pharmacy, and it took so much time. Literally, it took like 2 hours every time I called them, and I called them like 6 times a day. Because I really needed this prescription really badly, and they kept being like, it's there. My pharmacy kept being like, it's not there. So it took a lot of my time. Let me go back into the final space. So, I was really bummed. I will say before I go, when this loads up, there are some sad things that did not go as planned. We have to watch the magic again. It's so funny. Every time it's on a different frame. But it looks the same. I will say, so, I'll bring this photo up as well. The one thing that I'm sad about is, as you can see this TV, I wanted it to be, so it's nighttime and the only lights that are emitting is this one, which is not that bright. I wanted it to be not that bright. And then this has a little bit of light coming from it. It has like the orange glow, and this has a very large light, and the phone light, which I think is really cool, is shining upwards because it is on, so it's shining upwards onto the wall and the surrounding area. And I like how bright this is because at nighttime this is how bright a TV is, and I was trying to get the same effect with this and with this, but it just wouldn't do it the way it wanted it to do. So I wish it would have done what I wanted. That was the only thing that really bothered me. The other thing that bothered me is that when I hit render, everything is super glossy for like no reason. Like the floor is really glossy even though it's in Lambert, and this texture, like the table texture, is just the AI standard surface, and I don't know why it's so incredibly glossy. I don't know if that's like the default mode of what the AI standard surface is, but it's really glossy, and it's really unfortunate because it doesn't look like a blanket. It looks like a table with like shining wrapping on it. I don't know. It's really upsetting, but this is the final image, and the final render will be attached to this video. I just really wanted to explain everything out and have you see the amount of detail I put in, because from that picture you can't tell too much how much I did, but I really wanted to like make this look like a lived-in room. So yeah, thank you for watching and understanding. That is my final.